first notice that was taken to me when I settled down recently was by a gentleman who said he was an assessor and connected with the U.S. Internal Revenue Department. I said I had never heard of his branch of business before, but I was very glad to see him all the same. Would he sit down? He sat down. I did not know anything particular to say, and yet I felt that people who have arrived at the dignity of keeping house must be conversational, must be easy and sociable in company. So, in default of anything else to say, I asked him if he was opening his shop in our neighborhood. He said he was. I did not wish to appear ignorant, but I had hoped he would mention what he had for sale. I ventured to ask him how was trade, and he said so-so. I then said we would drop in, and if we liked his house as well as any other, we would give him our custom. He said he thought we would like his establishment well enough to confine ourselves to it. Said he never saw anybody who would go off and hunt up another man in his line after trading with him once. That sounded pretty complacent, but barring that natural expression of villainy, which we all have, the man looked honest enough. I do not know how it came about exactly, but gradually we appeared to melt down and run together, conversationally speaking, and then everything went along as comfortably as clockwork. We talked and talked and talked, at least I did, and we laughed and laughed and laughed, at least he did. But all the time I had my presence of mind about me. I had my native shrewdness turned on full head. As the engineers say, I was determined to find out all about his business in spite of his obscure answers. And I was determined I would have it out of him without his suspecting what I was at. I meant to trap him with a deep, deep ruse. I would tell him all about my own business, and he would naturally so warm to me during this seductive burst of confidence that he would forget himself and tell me all about his affairs before he suspected what I was about. I thought to myself, my son, you little know what an old fox you're dealing with. I said, now you never would guess what I made lecturing this winter and last spring. No, don't believe I could. To save me, let me see. About $2,000 maybe. But no sir, I know you couldn't have made that much. Say 1,700 maybe. Maybe? Ha ha! I knew you couldn't! My lecturing receipts for last spring and this winter were $14,750. What do you think of that?
Why, it is amazing, perfectly amazing. I will make a note of it. And you say even this wasn't all? Why, bless you, there was my income from the daily war hoop for 4 months.
Well, what should you say to about $8,000, for instance?
Say!
Why, I should say, I should like to see myself rolling in just such another ocean of affluence.